ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshetarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Today we are starting chapter 4 and I'm just reading a quick summary. So 6 questions had been asked by the sages. Ultimate good for humanity, that was the first question, and that was answered in Canto 1, chapter 2, 6th to 29th verse. If you remember, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yatho Bhaktiradhokshaje Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. That was the 1.2.6. And then there was also discussion about the whole devotional process, starting from serving the devotees and then so faith to prema, right? So hearing and then all these effect of modes goes away. Then one is situated in pure mode of goodness, and then by realization the knot of fruitive work or karma is dissolved. So, and then second question was, what is the essence of all scriptures? So that is also covered into this same 1.2.6 to 29. So essence of all scripture is Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadahetukam. Everything is attainable through devotional service. Even Jnana and Vairagya, they are byproducts of devotional service. So all those verses were covered. Then third question was about Krishna's appearance. What is the reason? Right? So that was answered in 1, 2, 34. And then 1, 3, 23. So what was that verse? Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwan iti shabdate. Right? So first reason is to attract the pure soul. Then he is the source of all incarnations, and he comes to deliver the pure souls, and so many reasons have been given in this whole passage. But yeah, there are certain verses that will come in the upcoming cantos also. Then they asked, the sages of Naimisharanya asked about the Purusha avatars, or how the creation, how he did this creation. So that has been answered in second chapter 30 to 33. So Jagrahe Paurushe, so that is third chapter 1 to 5th verse also, like we discussed the Purusha incarnations. Mahavishnu then who creates the whole material energy, that is Mahatattva. And then inside that Mahatattva, so many universes are there. So Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into each of that. So Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is expansion of Mahavishnu, and then he enters into each of the universe. And then his expansion is Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So he enters into every atom and in every living entity's heart. And this Shirodakshaya Vishnu is also the source of all the incarnations. But Krishna can come through any way he wants. So that doesn't mean that he has come from Vishnu. He is coming as a Leela avatar, but he is the Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. So Purusha avataras were discussed, then Leela avataras we discussed, right? Like so many, we discussed Kumara, then Varahadev, then this Manus, and Rama avatar, Narsimha avatar, Buddha avatar, Kalki, and so many more. So all those were discussed in third chapter. Then finally they had asked which question? Where the religious principles have taken shelter after Krishna has departed to his own abode, right? So Krishna is the one who has given the dharma. So when he left, then where did the dharma take shelter? So then we read the last verse last time, that was 1343. So we can just quickly take a look at that verse, very important verse. Yeah. So the answer is, this Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to dense darkness of ignorance in age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. Right? So now religious principles have taken shelter in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is literary incarnation of Krishna. Okay. So now we will move on with the chapter 4, and let's see what was the last verse. When Śukadeva Gosvāmī recited Bhagavad, so this was also important verse, that Sūta Gosvāmī is speaking, that I was there in that assembly when Śukadeva Gosvāmī was speaking, and now by his mercy, and I heard him with rapt attention, and thus by his mercy I learned Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him, and as I have realized. So this phrase is very important. Yathadhitam yathamatim. Yathadhitam yathamati. So as per my realization. Yeah. So the Guru gives mercy, but if we are completely open for the mercy of Guru, then our realization is very high. But if our heart is not that open, and we are having many different obstacles or anarthas in our heart, then whatever is the whatever we can realize, that much we can convey also, right? So that's what he is actually a pure devotee, but out of humility he's saying like that. So let's move on to chapter 4. So chapter 4 is Appearance of Śrī Nārada. So first 1 to 13, Śaunaka Rishi, then further he will ask questions to Sūta Gosvāmī. Now Sūta Gosvāmī has started speaking, and Śaunaka Rishi is going to ask more questions. Let's go to the Appearance of Śrī Nārada and text 1. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1:4-1. So let us first do our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsadevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsadevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsadevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyāsam Tato Jayamudire. Vyasa uvacha iti bruvanam sanstuya muninam dirghasatrinam vruddha kulapatihi sutam braha vrichaha shaunako bravit. Vyasaha Vyāsadeva Uvacha said iti, thus bruvanam, speaking, samstuya, congratulating, muninam, of the great sages, dirgha, prolonged, satrinam, of those engaged in performance of sacrifice, vriddha, elderly, kulapati, head of the assembly, sutam, unto Sūta Gosvāmī, bahurachaha, learned, Śaunaka, of the name Śaunaka, Abravit, addressed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vyāsadeva said, on hearing Sūta Gosvāmī speak thus, Śaunaka Muni, who was elderly, learned leader of all the ṛṣis engaged in that prolonged sacrificial ceremony, congratulated Sūta Gosvāmī by addressing him as follows. So, now Prabhupada is talking about some etiquette matters. In a meeting of learned men, when there are congratulations or addresses for the speaker, the qualification of congratulator should be as follows. He must be the leader of the house and an elderly man. He must be vastly learned also. Sri Śaunaka Rishi had all these qualifications, and thus he stood up to congratulate Srila Sūta Gosvāmī when he expressed his desire to present Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam exactly as he heard it from Śukadeva Gosvāmī and also realized it personally. Personal realization does not mean that one should, out of vanity, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous acharya. He must have full confidence in the previous acharya, and at the same time he must realize the subject matter so nicely that he can present the matter for particular circumstances in a suitable manner. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. So no obscure meaning should be screwed out of it, yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for understanding of the audience. This is called realization. The leader of the assembly, Śaunaka, could estimate the value of the speaker, Sri Sūta Gosvāmī, simply by his uttering yatha dhitam and yathamati, and therefore he was very glad to congratulate him in ecstasy. No learned man should be willing to hear a person who does not represent the original acharya. So the speaker and the audience were bona fide in this meeting where Bhagavatam was being recited for the second time. That should be the standard of recitation of Bhagavatam, so that real purpose can be served without difficulty. Unless this situation is created, Bhagavatam recitation for extraneous purposes is useless labor, both for the speaker and for the audience. Right? So many very important points have been covered here. That what is the etiquette, to address the speaker, that the person should be elderly, learned, and he should be leader of the house, right? Not like today, out of turn, many younger speak first. So, like upstarts, right? But earlier, this respect was given to the elderly people of house. And then he was going to share his realization. So that doesn't mean that one should speak anything different than the acharyas. He should repeat the same message, but in a relatable form according to the audience. So that is called as realization. So they can take examples of contemporary time, or they can mold the examples in such a way that it becomes very understandable to all the people in the assembly, like that. But he must have full confidence in previous acharya, not like superseding the acharya. And then so Prabhupada is continuing that no obscure meaning should, and that is possible only when one is speaking in the chain of disciplic succession. So what is the point of really Śaunaka feeling happy? That Sūta Gosvāmī said yatha dhitam and yathamati. So as per my realization and as per my intelligence, I will talk, I will say this, right? So that is his humility, and humility is a very big qualification to speak. So that's why also he's being congratulated. Yeah. So now Bhagavatam will be recited for the second time, because first Parikshit Maharaj heard from Śukadeva Gosvāmī, and now Sūta Gosvāmī is going to recite to sages of Naimisharanya, right? And that is the standard of recitation, that both hearer and speaker both are qualified. Hearer is very enthusiastic and eager to hear the katha, and speaker is qualified, he is humble enough, he is in line of disciplic succession, he doesn't supersede his acharya, he speaks from his realization and repeats the message of his guru. So all these are very good qualification of the speaker. So so this, in this situation, Bhagavatam can be very nicely recited. Otherwise it is useless labor for speaker and audience both. Okay, let's move on to verse 2. Śaunaka uvacha Sūta Sūta Mahabhaga Vadano Vadatam Vara Katham Bhagavatim Punyam Yadaha Bhagavachukah. Śaunaka Uvacha said, Sūta Sūta, O Sūta Gosvāmī, Mahabhaga, the most fortunate. Vada, please speak. Nah, unto us. Vadatam, of those who can speak. Vara, respected. Katham, message. Bhagavatim, of the Bhagavatam. Punyam, pious. Yat, which ah, said Bhagavan, greatly powerful. Shukaha, Sri Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So like when we get very excited, so we will call some person twice. Say, for example, I'm very happy and I'm talking to my daughter. So I will say, hey, Abhishri, did you hear? Like that. So he is also saying, Sūta, Sūta, Mahabhaga. Right? So he's feeling very happy and excited. So that shows their eagerness and anticipation, feeling of anticipation of hearing the katha. Śaunaka said, O Sūta Gosvāmī, you are the most fortunate and respected of all those who can speak and recite. Please relate the pious message of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which was spoken by the great and powerful sage Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Sūta Gosvāmī is twice addressed herein by Śaunaka Gosvāmī out of great joy, because he and the members of the assembly were eager to hear the text of Bhagavatam uttered by Śukadeva Gosvāmī. They were not interested in hearing it from a bogus person who would interpret in his own way to suit his own purpose. Generally, the so-called Bhagavatam reciters are either professional readers or so-called learned impersonalists who cannot enter into the transcendental personal activities of the Supreme Person. Such impersonalists twist some meanings out of Bhagavatam to suit and support impersonalist views, and the professional readers at once go to the 10th canto to misexplain the most confidential part of Lord's pastimes. Neither of these reciters are bona fide persons to recite Bhagavatam. Only one who is prepared to present Bhagavatam in the light of Śukadeva Gosvāmī, and only those who are prepared to hear Śukadeva Gosvāmī and his representative bona fide participant in the transcendental discussion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Yeah, are bona fide participants. Yes. So he's, yeah, as I said, he is very eager now. So therefore he is addressing him twice with happiness. And this is forming a very, very good combination of speaker and hearer. So now he's going to recite. So Prabhupada again speaking about professional reciters or impersonalists. So professional reciters, they want to allure the people with they think that, oh, this will be very interesting to the people. If we talk about Krishna, the relationship of Krishna and gopis from 10th canto. So because they are doing it for in return of some money. So they are not authorized reciters. And even the impersonalist who, who twist the meaning, they interpret in a different way. Even though like it will be very clearly that Shri Bhagavan Krishna said, and all those things also they say that the unborn within Krishna said. So Krishna doesn't have a like a material body. So what is within Krishna? Krishna is one same within and without. So they don't understand this. They don't want to understand this because they have accepted something and they want to prove that they are right. So they keep misinterpreting the scriptures in impersonalism to support their impersonalist views. So both are not not to be heard from, and we should hear very very carefully and cautiously from disciplic succession from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So verse 3, कस्मिन् युगे प्रवृत्तेयं स्थानो वाकेन हेतुना कुतः सच्चोदितं सच्चोदितः कृष्णः कृतवान् संहितां मुनिः. Kasmin, in which yuge period pravarta was begun, iyam sthane, in the place, va or kena, or on what, hetuna, ground, kutaha, where from, sanshoditaha, inspired by Kṛṣṇa-dvaipāyana Vyāsa, kratavan, compiled, samhitam, Vedic literature, munihi, the learned. So now this is another set of questions that Śaunaka Rishi is asking on behalf of all these sages of Naimisharanya to Sūta Gosvāmī. So please remember these threads. Okay, don't feel lost. So this is next set of questions. Although the questions that we had been discussing, they will more elaboration will come on those questions in the upcoming cantos, but on in a broader sense they have been answered as I narrated in the beginning. So the question is, in what period and at what place was this first begun, and why was this taken up? From where did Kṛṣṇa-dvaipāyana Vyāsa, the great sage, get inspiration to compile this literature? So now they are asking about Bhagavatam, right? In which period, what place, and why, for what purpose, right? From where did Vyāsadeva get this inspiration to compile this literature? So these are all very wonderful questions for us also to understand, because this is a Herculean task that Vyāsadeva has taken, and we also have some dreams, right? We want to do some big things, and in service we want to do certain things, but somehow either enthusiasm will not be there, or we will feel that, oh, it is very daunting, we will not be able to do all those kind of things. So if we have those kind of feelings, then this whole thing, otherwise also, I mean, even if we don't have those kind of questions, then also it's a beautiful journey of Vyasadeva, like how he came about Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, right? So there is a very good story here now. So purport, because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the special contribution of Srila Vyasadeva, there are so many inquiries by learned Śaunaka Muni. It was known to them that Srila Vyasadeva had already explained the text of the Vedas in various ways up to Mahabharata for the understanding of less intelligent women, Shudras, and fallen members of the family of twice born men. So we have already discussed this, that when this less intelligent is spoken about women or somebody like Shudras and fallen members, this is for mainly for their inclination to analytical study of the scriptures. Mainly it is from that perspective, and that is generally not possible for various reasons, because there may not be interest, or they have so many other responsibilities that they do not do that. But it's not that Prabhupada is saying this, because there are Gaudiya Vaishnava women who are initiating spiritual masters also, like Nityananda Mahaprabhu's wife. Even Srila Prabhupada had disciples, women disciples, who were like personally serving him, and he was also taking care of those women disciples. When they will fall sick, he will prescribe medicine, because he was in a pharmacy earlier, and he will ask other devotees to take care of them properly. He will make sure that all have mosquito nets, because they were not used to of mosquitoes, because they came from America. So all these small things, if somebody has a boil, then he will prescribe some home remedy. So Prabhupada was not like, he was mocking women or something like that. It's nothing like that. It's all coming from the scripture. And because of woman's less inclination toward analytical reasoning and logics and all those kind of things, because women are more on emotional side. Their emotional side is more active. So Vyasadeva has already done all that work, all the Vedas and Puranas, and until Mahabharata. Mahabharata is called as fifth Veda. So now Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is transcendental to all of them. So after creating all that work, after doing all that work, he compiled Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is transcendental to all of them because it has nothing to do with anything mundane. It is otherworldly. It is transcendental scripture. Means all the scriptures are transcendental because they are in one sense coming from Krishna. But Bhagavatam does not deal with any material affairs. Okay. Like in Vedas, it is mentioned that if you will do this yajna, then you will get this. If you will perform this puja, then you will get this. And not only this, but so many other parts are also there to Vedas, like which are useful to run this material world. Like engineering is there, there is medicine is there, okay, and there is astrology. So many things are there in Vedas, to for one to live in this material world. So all that knowledge base in the whole world, even now, that is coming from, or that is arising from Vedas. The root is in Vedas. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is transcendental to all of them. It will not speak about engineering or medicine or anything, but it will speak purely about Krishna's and his devotees' pastimes. So it is transcendental to all of them because it has nothing to do with anything mundane. So the inquiries are very intelligent and relevant. So first question they asked, where did it begin? Why it was taken up? And what was his inspiration to compile this literature? So last verse for today, 144. तस्य पुत्रो महायोगी समदृढनिर्विकल्पकः एकान्तमते रुन्निद्रो गूढो मूढैवेयते. Tasya, his putra son, Mahayogi, a great devotee, Samadrak, equibalanced, Nirvikalpaha, absolute monist, Ekantamatihi, fixed in monism or oneness of mind, Unnidraha, surpassed nations, Gudaha, not exposed, Mudaha, stunned, Iva, like Iyate appears like. He is Vyasadev's son. Who is Vyasadev's son? Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Vyasadev's son was a great devotee, an equibalanced monist whose mind was always concentrated in monism. Means he was impersonalist earlier, like Advaitavad. He was transcendental to mundane activities, but being exposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. Actually, in monism, it is explained here is fixed in monism or oneness of mind. So let's see what comes in the purport. So his son was a great devotee and equibalanced monist whose mind was always concentrated in monism. He was transcendental to mundane activities, but being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. So I told you this story, right? That Śukadeva Gosvāmī was not ready to come out of womb of his mother, even though he was 16 years old in the womb itself, but because he was very afraid of Maya affecting him, influencing him. So therefore he was never exposed to the material world. But when Vyasadeva requested Krishna to give assurance to Śukadeva Gosvāmī that he will never be affected by Maya. So when Krishna gave that assurance, he came out. And then as he came out, he just started walking. He just left home immediately without any, ritualistic ceremonies like Upanayan Samskar or Namkaran Samskar or nothing, right? So So he just started walking without any clothes or anything. So he appeared like an ignorant person. Srila Shukadeva Gosvāmī was a liberated soul, and thus he remained always alert not to be trapped by the illusory energy. In the Bhagavad Gita, this alertness is very lucidly explained. The liberated soul and the conditioned soul have different engagements. The liberated soul is always engaged in the progressive path of spiritual attainment, which is something like a dream for the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul cannot imagine the actual engagement of the liberated soul. While the conditioned soul thus dreams about spiritual engagement, the liberated soul is awake. Similarly, the engagement of a conditioned soul appears to be a dream for the liberated soul. A conditioned soul and a liberated soul may apparently be on the same platform, but factually they are differently engaged, and their attention is always alert either in sense enjoyment or in self realization. So, both are existing in this world, liberated and conditioned, but their engagements are different. Why? Because their internal disposition is different, right? So they both are always alert, conditioned soul and liberated soul, but in which subject matters, in sense enjoyment or in self realization, right? So conditioned souls are engaged in sense enjoyment. They are finding ways, or where to invest, what to do, how extra we can earn extra, and how much interest will be there if we do this certificate of deposit or these that. So it is always around some enjoyment. But liberated soul are always thinking about, okay, how can I go closer to Krishna? How can I realize Krishna better? What should I do to serve Krishna? Like that. The conditioned soul is absorbed in matter, whereas the liberated soul is completely indifferent to matter. This indifference is explained as follows. So, yeah, about monism, maybe I will read a little bit. But yeah, as far as I remember, monism was like Advaita, and he was impersonalist in the beginning. He was a liberated soul, he was self realized, but he was impersonalist, Mayavadi. Like everything is one. But then when he heard the verses of Bhagavatam, so it will come now next. So then he became a bhakta. So yeah, I believe that's that, but I will still research a little more. So yeah, we will wind up here. If you have any, okay, we both are left, Rutul Prabhu.
Yes, Madaji. So, Madaji, I have a question on monism. Is it for its oneness or it's like everything is zero?
No, monism means one. So everything is one. Everything is ultimately it becomes one. So
Hmm.
they say that everybody is God.
Right.
Ultimately, yeah, everyone becomes one. And we are right now covered with Maya. So when Maya is dispelled, everyone becomes God. So they say all are God and everything is one. So they believe in
Hmm.
oneness. Yeah, like that.
Buddhism is different than monism, then, right?
Yeah. Buddhism is a totally
Every-
different stream which was yeah, propagated by Lord Buddha. So
Hmm.
he gave the main message was ahimsa,
Right.
and he rejected the Vedas completely because Vedas were proposing the sacrifice of animals, but Vedas were not promoting it. There was only a section where it was mentioned that if you will sacrifice the animals, then you will get this or that, and Kali will be happy, or whatever, Pashupatinath will be happy.
Hmm.
But then people were interested in taste also, so they made it just a basis of sacrificing animals, Vedas as the basis, and they rampantly killed so many animals. They started killing. So that's why Lord Buddha, he gave the message of ahimsa, and then he rejected the Vedas completely, and he made the people follow him. So not follow Veda at all, but do not perform this killing and sacrifice. Krishna himself came as Buddha.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's been mentioned in chapter 3. But monism is Advaita, and then there is a Dvaita, duality, dual. So, but Lord Chaitanya has given the principle of Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva, means oneness and difference. Both
It's both.
exist in Krishna. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, for example, like we are one with Krishna in what sense? That we are also Satchidananda. Our
Mm.
souls are Satchidananda completely. So, they also are eternal. Sat Chit means full of knowledge, and then Ananda, they are completely blissful. In that sense, they are equal to Krishna, one with Krishna. But
Mm.
as far as quantity is concerned of that Satchidananda, that's very, very minute, right? I mean, the volume of individual soul is very little. So that is the difference. And Prabhupada gives example of gold mine and gold ring also many times.
Yeah.
That gold ring and is exactly identical to the gold in the gold mine. There is no difference in the quality. But quantity wise, if you see, you will see a gold ring. So it has very little gold in it as compared to the gold mine.
Right.
So even though there is a oneness of quality, but there is difference of quantity. And yeah, similarly he gives example of drop of ocean water also, that they both are salty. Ocean is also salty and drop of ocean water is also salty, but here is a drop and there is full ocean. So
Mm.
again, oneness and difference.
Right.
Yeah, so we don't go for either monism or different duality. We go for Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva, that is given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Mm.
Yeah, so Krishna has both. I mean, we cannot limit him either by monism or dualism.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank
So
you, Maharaj.
I'll see you on Thursday. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.